divine belief is considered the core culture mantra in India. India is an amalgamation of diverse religions, beliefs, and cultures, an integral part of its existence. This is a rare shrine where a female deity is offered alcohol. The bottles, small or big, cheap or expensive, desi or single malt, tell stories of faith that are deeply connected with our culture.
लिकर का कल्चर तो बहुत पुराना है क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ मनवार जो होती है वो बड़ी इम्पोर्टेंट है. मनवार इज एन ऑफरिंग.
This rare shrine is well known as the Shila Devi Temple, located in Jaipur, the capital city of Rajasthan.
Let's start with the religious part of it, the offerings to the god. It's an old tradition that alcohol was part and parcel of your daily life.
An overly deserted state located northwest of India, the area of the state of Rajasthan is comparable to that of Germany. The place is mostly known for its collective and classical heritage of royalties and is home to many rajas. In the regal culture of Rajasthan, the consumption of daru had been raised to fine arts in the royal households. Every royal family had its own daru khana, from which the royal sip was produced, now famously known as heritage liquor.
All the main liqueurs, which are now owned by big companies in the West, all started in small families. And we had that in Rajasthan also.
These heritage liquors were based on secret formulas so tightly guarded that they could only be let known to other royal families when linked with matrimonial alliances. The brewers were also sworn by their forefathers when handed the secret techniques to never break the liquor code. In the olden period, the drinks were reserved exclusively for royal members and not for the common man. But one principality, the master of this craft, has decided to bring a new change. Trends in culture and tradition change with time, but some master crafts, which are deep-rooted, like the making of daru, have remained the same in this thikana, unchanged and untouched.
अभी आज के if you see the current scenario, people are like obsessed with single malt. जो गोरे हम पे थोप के गए जो ड्रिंक्स, उन्हें पी के आज हम अपने आप को समझते हैं कि हाँ we are this and we are that.
अपने यहाँ जब से ये ब्रिटिशर्स आए तो ब्रिटिशर्स ने कोशिश की कि हमारी लोकल लिकर डेवलप ही नहीं हो.
ये थोड़ा सा अनफॉर्चुनेट सिचुएशन ऐसा है इंडिया में कि अपन लोग शुरू से ऐसा सोचते हैं कि जो बाहर की चीज़ है वो ज़्यादा अच्छी है.
In the year 1789, 13 years after the independence of America, Elijah Craig, a Baptist minister, invents the famous bourbon drink in Georgetown, Kentucky. Around the same time, surrounded by the dunes of Rajasthan and cut off from the Western developments, some rebel liquor craftsmen and alchemists started experimenting with different herbal ingredients and herbs to make a high spirit. They belonged to the royal thikana of Mahansar. Rajendra Singh Shekhawat is a scion from the 8th generation Mahansar family.
ये बेसिकली मैनसर जो फोर्ट है, ये नारसिंह जी ने बनवाया था, और उस समय की जो मेनली जो जड़ी बूटियाँ उनकी अपनी एक वैल्यूज़ हैं, उसके हिसाब से ये शराब बननी स्टार्ट हुई थी।
This ठिकाना was situated on the southern Silk Route that connected China with Turkey and Italy. The high spirit was an Ayurvedic medicine used for the treatment of cholera and many other similar diseases. They used jaggery for fermentation and other valuable spices, including Afghani dry fruits, aniseed, jujube roots, goat and house sparrow meat, and in some cases, opium and poison were used as well. Water, gur, and bush bark were fermented in clay pots, an ancient technique.
हर आदमी भट्टी नहीं चला सकता, एक्सपीरियंस लोग ही चलाते। और भट्टी के टाइम पुराने जब ये वैद वगैरह ये जब करते थे, ये सीज़न देखते थे, जड़ी बूटियाँ कहाँ से कलेक्ट करनी है, ये भी वैद जी वगैरह देखते थे। जब ये भट्टी स्टार्ट करते बीच में, तो मंत्र वगैरह भी उच्चारण किया करते।
After fermenting for 15 days, the material was distilled in a copper pot.
ये लिकर जो है बेसिकली हिंदुस्तान के राजा महाराजाओं में, बड़े व्यापारियों में और फेमस प्रसिद्धि पाती गई, और ये यहाँ से बीकानेर स्टेट वहाँ जाती थी, बीकानेर से आगे बावलपुर, सिंध के नवाबों के यहाँ, सिंध की रॉयल फैमिलीज़ के यहाँ, पाकिस्तान में और जो बड़े अटक से कटक तक जो व्यापार का सेंटर था, तो ये दोनों तरफ सप्लाई होती थी।
जय माता दी।
जय माता दी।
बड़े दिन बाद आया है ठाकरा।
हाँ, बीकानेर स्टेशन गए डा।
और ईद की बात
अब करें दस पंजाब हो गए, लाहौर इनने, बलोचिस्तान है इनने।
बहुत बढ़िया, फिर तेरे बहुत चोखा माल दूँ।
ठीक है
जो आ जाएगा तुम्हें।
ठीक
ठीक है, दे दो।
दे दो।
खूब मजा ले। राम राम।
राम राम सर, राम राम।
कच्चे मिट्टी के यूटेंसिल्स होते थे, ऊँटों पे दोनों साइड में यूँ डाल डाल के लोग ले जाया करते थे आपके वहाँ से, ऐसा हमारे फोरफादर्स बताते थे।
By the 19th century, Mahansar heritage liquor was receiving a widespread reputation in royal courts and princely estates across the subcontinent of imperial India.
हम इसको आम आदमी की बनाना चाहते हैं, कि जो पहले ये धारणा बनी हुई थी कि जो सिर्फ राजा महाराजाओं की है, उसको हम आम आदमी के लिए, कॉमन मैन के लिए उपलब्ध करवाना चाहते हैं।
Along the edge of a big dune is the distillery of Maharani Mahansar Heritage Liquor. Shekhavati Heritage Herbal Private Limited is the only private distillery in the region. 40 workers are employed in this distillery from nearby villages.
सुरेम भाई, लोगों को जब रॉयल्टी में होते हैं तो कभी किसी को पहले
जी
मिलते हैं, किसी को बड़ी बड़ी ज़मीनें मिलती हैं, रोल्स रॉयस मिलते हैं, पर आपको दारू मिली है। क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
I feel I'm blessed.
Now, let's experience the distilling process as per its procedures. Firstly, they outsource the extra neutral alcohol made of grains from distinct distilleries in India. Thereafter, the alcohol is stored in a big tank. The water that is used for distillation comes from 600 feet below the ground, which has a unique taste as it comes with a touch of limestone.
अभी जो हमारे ब्रांच हैं उसमें अगर आप बात करें तो हमारे यहाँ गुलाब की शराब बनती है।
For Maharani Mahansar Shahi Gulab Vintage and Premium Editions, the preparation starts hundreds of kilometers away in the Pushkar region of central Rajasthan. Dozens of local women workers pluck the roses of superior quality, which give the liquor its signature hue and aroma. The mornings start early for these women, sometimes even before dawn.
ये जो गुलाब अपन यूज़ में ले रहे हैं, ये गुलाब की एक तरीके की सबसे महंगी स्पीसीज में काउंट होता है, दैट इज़ रोज़ा डेसिमिना। महंगे से महंगा दुनिया में इत्र जो गुलाब का बनता है वो इसी रोज़ से बनता है, द रोज़ विच वी आर यूजिंग।
After having the stems and leaves picked in the warehouse, it is made sure that the fresh petals reach the distillery by evening. In the distillery, the petals are put in the copper pot distiller and mixed along with the extra neutral alcohol. After adding water to the pot, steam is generated through the boiler. The boiler is running on husk briquette, a recycled, eco-friendly source of fire which wraps the distiller with hot steam. At 75 degrees Celsius, the alcohol within the distiller starts evaporating and is directed towards a condenser via pipes, and cold water is used to obtain alcohol in liquid form, which is then stored in receiver tanks. The process of blending follows immediately. From there, they are transferred into the holding tanks after passing various filtration stages. This liquor also contains aphrodisiac values.
The Mahansar family has meticulously followed these processes, and they have not skipped on each process. And that has got them the famous name of Mahansar liquor.
For Somras, various spices which have been used for the past 3 centuries are added in the distillation process. These spices include special Kashmiri kesar, spices from Kerala and cinnamon from Vietnam are also added. Some secret ingredients tracing back to the age of Somras and Vedas are also included.
मेरे विचार से इसको हेल्थ टॉनिक कहा जाए तो ज़्यादा अच्छा है। ये इसके गुण मैं बता सकता हूँ आपको कि जो इंटीग्रेंट्स इन्होंने यूज़ कर रहे हैं इसके अंदर, सारे हेल्थ को मजबूत करने वाले और हेल्थ को बूस्ट देने वाले हैं।
For the soft flavor, a mixture of aniseed is added to the distiller.
And soft is a drink which is accepted world over. I think it's a very interesting drink, the soft I personally would prefer, because after a nice meal, if you just have a small glass of Mahansar Heritage Soft, we'll be completing a total meal.
The final liquor is rendered colorless. However, it turns milky white when mixed with water and ice while consuming. Similarly, for the pan flavor, meetha patta, madrasi patta, Kolkata patta, clove and various other dry fruits are used.
In the state times, all the thikanas and the states had their own breweries, and everybody specialized in their particular this thing, and then it stopped.
However, when the nation got independence, heritage liqueurs were banned. They instantly retraced their steps back to the royal houses that they had trickled out of, to bide their time as Baap Dada Ki Daru.
ये शराब बनती हुई तो हमेशा से आ रही थी, राजा रजवाड़ों के लिए बना करती थी। 1950 में व्हेन मोनार्की एंडेड तो गवर्नमेंट ने इसे बैन कर दिया।
For royal posterity, in 1998, the head of the erstwhile Jodhpur royal family, Maharaja Gaj Singh, ventured to revive the old heritage liquors of various royal households in the commercial market.
It all began because I felt that we were missing out on something. So when I was the chairman of the tourism department, I wrote a letter to the chief minister that we have to revive 3 things. Of course, the first was heritage hotels, heritage sports, and then a heritage liquor.
The heritage liquor rules were then drafted as a part of the Rajasthan Excise Act in 2003.
हेरिटेज लिकर एक्ट जब आया तो गवर्नमेंट ने टेंडर कॉल्स किए, लोगों को बुलाया कि जो पुराने लोग इस शराब के बारे में जानते हैं, दे कम एंड दे सबमिट देयर टेंडर्स.
Mahansar has got their own distillery. I think it's the first one that is he managed to get a license. It's a good thing.
Now, the liquor is ready for bottling and packaging. But before proceeding, the distillery draws samples of the produced liquor for quality control testing. They examine the color, the aroma, and the taste. Before being filled with liquor, the bottles imported from Firozabad go through an automated washing machine. Then, nozzles fill the liquor right to the neck, and workers cap the bottles imported from Telangana. Examiners pick individual bottles and examine them under the light to make sure there are no impurities in the liquor. One person checks the bottles for leaks and cracks before machine applicators screw and seal the caps on the bottles. After drying the bottles, labels are pressed onto the surface of the bottles by automatic arms and then smoothed out by rotating brushes. The bottles now go through a traditional packaging line where the packaging workers pack the individual bottles in their respective boxes. These boxes are filled into cartons. The cartons are transported into a storage room, which can only be accessed by a combination of keys shared between the distillery and the Rajasthan government. All the distribution process is undertaken by the government of Rajasthan. This is how a bottle of Mahansar liquor is made. This was the journey of a liquor that travelled a long way from the ancient royal households and silver bowls to today's common man's hand. A journey from Baap Dada ki daru to Aam Aadmi ki daru.
In one sentence, if you define Mahansar liquor.
Absolutely unique and wonderful.
Is a very fine example of the taste of Rajasthan.
It's strong.
सुरेन भाई, लोगों को जब रॉयल्टी में होते हैं तो कभी किसी को पहले
जी।
से मिलते हैं, पर आपको दारू मिली है। क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
आई फील आई एम ब्लेस्ड। ये तो अपने आप में एक भगवान का दिया हुआ रत्न है। भी कितने लोग ऐसे होंगे जिन्हें विरासत में दारू मिले।